Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
On the newspaper page, and love and tradition of the grand design, some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls, 'cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every seam. It's the bigger love of the family.
Welcome into another Thursday Night Chief Talk, Season 7, Episode 32, Battle of the Bands. That's right, tonight is another fun game show where we put Bob the Cigar Guy through the ringer, make him curse my name, and say all the things about, oh, I can't believe you did this to me, it makes me look so bad as a cigar smoker and cigar viewer. Welcome into Thursday Night Chaos. I'm looking forward to the show. Hopefully you all are as well. Hopefully you've had a good week. I want to know, what are you smoking? What are you drinking? And before we go any farther, I want to say a big thank you to Drew Estate Cigar and Natura Cigar, making sure that Chief Talk is coming to you over the interwebs, through your Wi-Fi, through your Ethernet cable. The Amish may be watching this on some sort of tablet. Get it? Haha. But big thank you to Drew Estate Natura Cigar. Make sure that Chief Talk is your premier Thursday night cigar talk show and fun zone. Welcome in Charles Adamson, Mackie the Bergson, man, Banker John Fireborn. Who else is over here? You guys are going back and forth. Chi Town. What up? Val Chavez making poor decisions. Matt Brugger. Jay Bates. Cigar Pop, welcome into the show. How are you doing this evening? Matt Scaife also as well. Smoking a DTT Halligan and drinking some E.H. Taylor. Cigar Pop says tonight is an abstinence night, not feeling well. Cigar Pop, start feeling better. Start feeling better, brother. Try Town smoking an Oz Karatoba tonight. It's brand new from Oz Family Cigars. First time with it so far, so good. Charles Adamson smoking himself a savage feast. Stogie Sister, welcome in. How are you doing? Nice to see you again. Been a little while. Probably recuperating from that Rocky Mountain cigar. Val Chavez. Don't know why, but for some reason I feel like cleaning my sneakers after I Chief was doing a sneaker cleaning day the other day. Posted on the Discord about that. And if you're not a part of the Discord, make sure you will hit up the Discord in the description. Step over there and hang out with us. Matt Barger smoking a Dunbar Tobacco Trust Krakatoa. As I'm talking about Discord, I did not make a pick of the week this week because I was busy doing other things. So next week we'll reprise the stick pick of the week. Sorry about that. Sammy Flo, welcome into the show. How are you doing? And without further ado, let me do one of these numbers. Put myself back a little bit. Put myself over here. Come over here. Do one of these background switcheroo, changearoos, and bring into the party Bob the Cigar Guy. Welcome into the show, Bob the Cigar Guy. How are you doing this evening?
I was really on my way home, and I was looking forward to smoking a great cigar, which I'm actually right now working on this Natura Forest. It's going to spend some quality time with Chief and with all of y'all and just have a nice relaxing day after I've had a long day at the car mill. And as soon as I walk in, Chief greets me with, "It's not a good day to be a cigar guy."
It's not. It's gonna be putting him through the ringer night. You're really blurry on my screen. Am I blurry?
You're really blurry on my screen.
Okay, I have a thing that says our internet is struggling this evening. So let me turn the Wi-Fi off on my phone. See if that helps at all. I've noticed that we've been having that issue the past few weeks. So it might be time to restart the router. Yeah, we're gonna probably both be blurry for until the internet decides to figure itself out. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, the internet's tanking, and my camera's up a little too high, so I'm going to pull my camera back out a little bit. Sorry for the blur. Hopefully, you guys can hear us just well. And for you, you should be able to see everything that pops up today. Hopefully, when I do tonight's game, it will get a little better, but unfortunately the internet is taking a little bit of a dump right now. Hopefully it'll get better. There's no storms in the way. It's actually been like really nice weather here recently
and almost chilly.
So it has been a little bit chilly in the morning time. So
false fall.
Well, actually I saw a thing on TikTok today that said that we might not be in false fall. We might actually start fall soon. Because of the weather and the pressures and all that stuff. So we'll see. I'm getting my hopes up. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna set myself up for disappointment. I'm gonna get my hopes up, in hopes that fall does stick around. It was saying, the thing that I read today was talking about how the end of September was going to be nice and chilly. We're going to have a full fall this year, which would be nice because autumn is my favorite time of the year, seasonal wise, and holiday wise for the most part. I mean, I love Christmas, but it's not cold enough here for Christmas time to be like winter, so it's kind of falls in. But my birthday is in like 13 days, 12 days, something like that. So my birthday's technically a summer date because fall starts on the 21st of September, but for all intents and purposes, my birthday is fall birthday. Then you got Halloween, Thanksgiving, that fall within fall, and then Christmas technically is winter because it's the 25th, not in winter starts on 21st of December. But it's still, fall's just the best time of the year.
Poor Richard's almanac over there.
It's just the best time of the year, in my opinion. Football starts this weekend. College football starts this weekend. NFL football is, I think they're still in the preseason. The English Premier League's kicked off.
Did you hear about the huge thing going on in football right now?
No.
Taylor Swift got engaged.
All right. So yeah, apples are going to be falling from trees. I can't wait every year for my birthday, except for last year. For the past few years, we go to an apple orchard and we pick apples. We get apple ciders, apple cider vinegar, apple cider donuts, apple drinks. It's just apple time. I love it. I can't wait. Matt Brugger says just saw the temps will be in the mid 60s next week. Ooh. Charles Adamson says I'm lazy today, so drinking some Kirkland pre-made old fashioned. Ooh. Fireborn says if you wiggle the dongle more than 3 times, you're playing with it. And then Sammy Flo says it sounds great. Well, that's good. I'm glad it sounds good. I hope it picks up a little bit for you guys. Rick Carroll says, hello, fellows. Hello.
Hit 20.
Nice. We did. Chief Talk. Continuing to hit the 20 number mark. 32 episodes out of 32 episodes this year. Banker John with the China hacking in progress. Well, they ain't got much to hack over here. So Jay Bates says, will Kelsey hyphen his name on his jersey to Kelsey Swift?
Probably Swift Kelsey.
I don't know. We'll find out.
But
Rick
if he
Carroll,
gets tackled, he can shake it off.
funny. Rick Carroll's got a blackened and a blackened S84 and root beer. That's
That's a good blend. Good pairing.
The Connecticut version of the blackened cigar. Quiet Piper says, evening, everyone. Welcome into the show. How are you doing this evening? Fireborn says, don't forget to hit the like button, folks. That's right. And come over here and put these little things up that say, if you're over on YouTube, is it going to do it for me? Ah, there it goes. I just got to get the comment off the screen. Do hit the like button. Do hit the subscribe button as well and ring the little bell notification to make sure that you stay up to date with everything that Bob the Cigar Guy posts, because he posts all the time.
All the time.
And if you're over on the Facebook, make sure you like the page, like the stream, and are following. I guess you can get notifications. I didn't know you get notifications on Facebook, but if you can, hey, do. So yeah, make sure you're doing the likes, the followings, the subscriptions, all the things that you can do. So before we get into tonight's game, which I'm really looking forward to doing, I'm actually kind of hoping that the internet gets a little better on us. You're looking a little less blurry for me. You're still a little blurry. Am I still a little blurry for you over there?
A little bit.
Okay. So a bunch of stuff popped off this week. Biggest news, I think, this week was the announcement of what the Freestyle Live cigar was. Drew Estate announced that it is indeed a Nica Rustica shade, which I'm not surprised in the shade part. I know that you had thought, Bob the Cigar Guy, that it might not be a Connecticut shade.
It's a dark shade.
And so my original thought was like, well, could this be a shade Puro? I don't think it's a shade Puro. They've not sent out, at least I didn't get a press release. If they sent it out, I don't think they sent out a press release.
I haven't gotten one.
And usually that entails what the blend information is. I don't think they went over the full blend information on the Freestyle Live. If they did, I did not write it down. I didn't get to watch Freestyle Live. I have church on Tuesday nights, so I don't get to catch the Freestyle Live. Now, I do know there was somebody who said that when we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, that they thought, what if this was a part of the Nica Rustica line? And I said, if it's a part of the Nica Rustica line, I'll be disappointed. And I'm still kind of disappointed in the sense that when I think of Nica Rustica, I think of full flavor powerhouse. And so it made me think, okay, should I really be disappointed in it? Well, one, no, it doesn't really matter what my opinion is. But two, okay, as I smoked the cigar, I said that I really liked the cigar as a shade. I thought it was very reminiscent to me as a cigar that was like a Deadwood Dominicana without the sweet tip. And I had some people reach out to me and say, hey, I actually kind of feel like this is the same way. The Deadwood Dominicana is a nice light cigar. And then you really get to appreciate the sweetened tip out of the Deadwood Dominicana because of how light the cigar is. It's not an overpowering cigar like you would experience in some of the other Deadwoods or acid lines or other lines that are from other cigar manufacturers. And so I guess, when it comes to the broadleaf, the OG Nica Rustica, that is a smoke bomb. It is a powerhouse. It is, I think it's Pennsylvania broadleaf. I could be wrong. I know it's broadleaf. I think it's Pennsylvania broadleaf, but it is a full, robust cigar. Don't smoke it on an empty stomach. Great price point, kind of sort of smoke. The Adobe came in, and it is a full flavored, full medium cigar. At the end, it has a chance to kind of ramp up a little bit on you, but not much. It's a cigar that you can smoke on an empty stomach and appreciate the smoke output and the volume that comes outside of it. And again, it's a nice value $0.6 chuck is what they called it.
Right.
And so I guess in the Connecticut line, one of the things that I kind of put synonymous with Nica Rustica is it's a full flavor cigar. this, as I think about it, is a Connecticut. It is a Connecticut that doesn't sneak you. It's not a Connecticut that says this isn't a Connecticut, this is something else, or it's too grassy or too hay or something like that. This might have been a better Candela cigar, something like that. But as I smoked that cigar, I talked about just how much of a light, sweet, grassy note I got out of the cigar the whole entire time. And so, so Charles Adamson says it had Dominican, Pennsylvania, and Nica fillers. So, I think they said it was was it an Ecuadorian shade wrapper on the cigar? I can't remember. Gary Brooks says it was better than the Adobe. Wrong. Quiet Pepper says I'm a DE fan, but if I get to smoke tonight, it'll probably be an aging room at Nicaragua Concerto. Ooh, that Concerto is a great cigar. I love that cigar. One of my favorite cigars of the year. Gary Brooks got an EP Carrillo Encore Celestial with A&W Sunday Soda. Ooh. EP Carrillo transferring over to Casa Carrillo. Sogi Sister, lots of love.
Lots love the Adobe.
Oh, lots. I get it now. Now I see the grammatical use of lots. There are many who love the Adobe. I was surprised that they added to that line so soon. I don't know. It kind of felt. I'm glad they added to a current line. I know that there were others who had said that they had heard that this was not going to be a line extension. This is going to be this whole entire new thing. Obviously, that was a lie. But I don't get mad at that because they don't want to tell you what it is, right? They're wanting you to guess what the cigar is. So I'm happy with the cloak and darkness kind of sort of situation. I'm also glad that they added to a line. Now, I will say the next freestyle, I hope it's a darker cigar. I hope it's a more full body cigar because I think all of the most recent freestyles are all lighter cigars.
Shade,
right? Shade,
Dominicana.
So you got the Adobe Shade, the Dominicana. You have the Girl with No Name, the S84. Those are some of the most recent releases. There's a little bug flying around here; it keeps bothering me. Those are some of the most recent releases on the freestyle line. So I'm waiting for. I want another Liga to come. Right? We got spoiled with the H99s. Back to back.
Right.
And then the Adobe was always my favorite out of the freestyle live cigars so far. So I guess I can't be a nice dark Herrero would be nice. Ooh, replace the Miamis. Gary Brooks says the Adobe was okay, but I thought it was going to be so much better than the OG, and it wasn't. And about a box. I prefer the Adobe over the original broadleaf, but that's just because I really love the Adobe. But I also love the broadleaf. Right on, Chief. I second the call for a darker cigar next time. So maybe Drew Estate will watch this back. They do sponsor the show. And I'm friends with a lot of people at Drew Estate. As are you, Bob Cigar Guy. All right. So you said that you were smoking a Natura cigar.
The Forest.
I am slightly smoking. I need to relight it. But I am smoking an El Pupo this evening.
Awesome.
Little Mexican San Andreas action going on this evening.
Great cigar.
And then I caught up on some of the other news that's come across my inbox. I've been so busy these past few weeks. My inbox just kind of stacked up with some emails, and I thought I had more press releases in there than I did, and kind of find out it was more just stuff from PCA and other cigar companies trying to sell stuff. But 2 press releases went up this week. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning. Drew Estate, we'll keep on the same tune with them. With retailers were in the market was finally getting the Liga 10 humidor with the Liga 10 ST DuPont matching lighter in color, also being packed full of Savage Feast cigars, which is great. And then also hitting the market to purveyors who purchased them at PCA are the 2 new Lanceros from Foundation Cigar Company. So if you're a Lancero fan, hey, you got 2 new Lanceros hit the market that are going to be available to you soonsies. And that was pretty much it for the news that came off of Chevette Report this week. The newest place for you to find your cigar information. Bob Cigar Guy is giving me a hard time about that.
Yeah.
Bob Cigar Guy, have you
Yes,
smoked
Chief.
anything really nice? I didn't ask you this last week. Have you smoked anything nice or new in the past 2 weeks that you're like, man, that's a really good cigar?
Nothing that just jumps out and grabs me by the chest and says, don't ever forget this cigar. I haven't had any bad cigars. That's for sure.
Now, you're going to be coming up to the lounge on Saturday.
I am.
There's a cigar that I'm going to point you in the direction of that I really want you to smoke.
Rocky Patel?
No. It's a My Father, and it's the new My Father Blue.
Blue? Yeah,
Oh, man. That's a dang good cigar. I think I talked about it a little bit last week. I can't remember if I did or not, but highly suggest that cigar. Really enjoyed that cigar. Got the chance to smoke it. It was last Monday when I picked it up.
I'm just looking forward to going, hey, put on his tab.
Sucker. Well, that's funny. The great thing is we can put as much as we want on my tab, but it's all coming off on the channel card. So
I've changed the I went and got a new card so your pin doesn't work anymore.
I have the banking and routing information. How's the new stock? Have you had that yet? Oh, from CAO. I have not had that one yet. Chi-Town says the My Father Blue is very good. It is. It's a really good cigar. Jim Jurasek also agrees. Matt Brugger also agrees that it was a good cigar. Look at there. Really good cigar. Really enjoying it. I've been selling a lot of Furtongas to people too. So I'm happy to do that because that's my favorite cigar of the year. But that My Father cigar, it's a light cigar. Also, I can't tell you if I had this one. I don't remember if I told you I had this one or not. But the new Kintsugi is pretty darn good too. The Wabi Sabi. I think that one you're gonna like more than the original. I think you're gonna like that one more than the original because it's got a little bit of a pepper note towards the end of the cigar. Some people are like, "Oh yeah, I guess it's got pepper because it's maced after wasabi." I was like, well, I never even thought about that. I just kind of went off of it being a weird name. Now, it sounds like wasabi. I don't know if it's entailed to kind of go behind that. But I think the wabi sabi is like still a Kintsugi type pattern kind of sort of.
It's something about broken people put together make great things or something like that. It
is a good cigar. I really appreciate the cigar for what it is. I thought it was a really good cigar. And I have suggested it to plenty of people as well. All right. Well, the internet is continuing to do its own thing. So we're just going to have to hope that the slideshow itself comes across well enough for you guys and gals who are watching from internet land, from home, in Bob Cigar Guy. Hopefully it should, because it's a file that I've actually downloaded to StreamYard. It should pop up for you, no problem. So without further ado, dun dun dun, it's a battle of the bands. So we have done something like this in the past where we did Whose Eyes Are Those? Where we did cigar brand owner eyes. What was the other one we did? Oh, we did the one where it was like I used pictures to talk about cigar bands or cigar companies or whatever it was, and you did much better on that one than the eyes. You almost passed on the eyes. This one, I'm about 100% sure you're not going to get a passing grade. See. So
y'all see the love I get
as we get into this. Right? As we get into this, so what I did was, blaming on the internet. You guys look like you're in a Godzilla movie. Godzilla. So all of these photos are my photos. I took these today. When I got here to the studio, I edited it. Well, I actually didn't have to do much editing. I did a little bit of editing, but not much. Most of the editing was just in the crops. So what I did was I took the picture I took of the band is the same exact picture that I cropped in on the band. So I didn't do like any trickery where I take an obscure picture of a part of a band that you never really see, and then I flipped it around and I can't. There's no way that you'd be able to tell that from the photo or whatever. They're all the same photo. All of the bands minus one are prominent label forward. One of them, I flipped the band around backwards because it was the only part of the band that had something that like you would probably really remember about it. Now, all of these bands, all of these cigars are cigars that are here in studio and have been in studio for a while. Some of these bands have been here for a long time.
Yay.
And most of these cigars are cigars that you're very familiar with, I think. With that being said, when I edited the photos of the bands to the obscure parts of the bands, I didn't realize how much of the photo I was going to be able to use on the backdrop that I made for in Photoshop. And it's a small window. You'll see. But some of the parts of the bands are like, when you do macro photography, which is what I did of these bands, you don't realize that the lens can get so much detail out of just the printing on a band that you never would really see unless you stuck it right in front of your eyeball. So I am great. I am sure I have there's 11 cigars. I think it's 11. I think it's 11 cigars. I don't think you're gonna get 6.
This test excites me as much as having to set up for a colonoscopy. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Okay. All right. So, would you like to start?
Let's go.
Now, that Year of the Duque is not any of these. That Year of the Duque is just a cigar picture that I had that I took, and I had bands on. I was like, oh, that'll work for a nice little thumbnail. All right. Cigar numero uno.
That's a Silver Mesa.
Okay. So I wanted to start off pretty easy for you.
Put that back. So you just took little chunk. You didn't even make it a freaking square.
Well, I did. It is originally a square.
Yeah, and then you.
But it's
what
behind,
I'm seeing is not a square.
No, correct. Sorry, let's see. Cigar Pop. All
right, hey. So we're gonna go ahead and shut down now. Thank y'all. I got 100%.
Take it easy, Cigar Pop. Matt's case says that these are his favorite. Chief is collecting bands to conceal all his rock details. That's funny. They're all on the cigar, by the way. But being on the cigar really wouldn't help you out. Like, you can't identify cigars by their wrapper leaves.
No.
Well,
I could do a Pappy.
So that's the Sober Mesa Brulee, right? But I
feel like you're lulling me into a false sense of security
because I am.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure that you at least got one, and I started off with the first one was the easiest one, but it also kind of gives you like an understanding of like how this is going to kind of work and how it looks.
It's gonna suck.
All right, so all the photo, like that's a very well zoomed in photo of that band, right? Yeah. And again, all of these photos like this are photos of these. So it's not trickery. It's not lighting or anything. It's that there's no extra edits other than just cropping. All right. Are you ready for number 2?
I'm ready. That is the Herrera Esteli white band.
That is a Cajina. Also one I thought you would get. Now, the thing about this one was there's not really a spot on this band that's not so terribly obscure that didn't just give it away. The white, the gold, and the red. And, I figured it's just too easy. So I've said, okay, we'll put that at the beginning as well. Give me a nice little sense of security. All right. Number 3. Ooh.
Is this the prominent feature of the band?
It is on the band.
That wasn't my question.
I mean, somebody would say it's a prominent feature on the band.
That is we got that at PCA this year.
Possibly. Maybe. Yeah.
That's
maybe.
Oh, what is the name of that company?
Oh man.
If it's the one I'm thinking about, they put out a different one every year. The company has a C in it. It's 2 words. It's not a company, it's the brand.
Mm. I love having this thing.
It's not the Quattro whatever, is it?
From Hoya?
No. All right, what was the name of the Romeo and Julieta booth?
Altadis?
On the right-hand side, they had between the Romeo and Julieta walk-in area and the Banker series was this in between.
The Spirit Trinidad?
No, it was not Trinidad. Trinidad was in a box. This was on the shelf and had a big poster behind it.
Oh, I don't know. No, you're wrong.
That's all I know.
You're wrong. This is the Natura Cigar Mustang.
Lane Crenshaw, where are you, buddy? Damn it.
It's funny making.
I've got it sitting right
I know.
freaking here.
It was funny when you started lighting up that cigar. I was like, crap, he's gonna get at least 3 of these tonight.
Yeah, it's right there. I never noticed it because the horse. The horse is the big thing on that.
So that would have been too easy if I did the horse. A feature of the horse that'd have been way too easy. But I was like, oh, that crown at the top, man, that's nice. So yeah, it's a little cut off in this picture just because of the crop. But
their bands are fancy. Their bands are banging.
Yeah, this is the Natura Mustang. Making poor decisions. He says tisk, but he also did not guess it.
Yeah, he didn't pipe in.
I wonder if he also. I mean, you would think though that he would have had to have gotten that. Maybe he's just not watching. Maybe he's got us like playing in the background. All right, you ready for what, number 4?
Way to go, wingman.
There's 1,000% you're not getting this. That's cheating. That's cheating. You get half a point if you get it. That's cheating. Do you know what that is? Do you know?
No.
Do you know? Okay, so well, we'll let you get through your phone a friend over there.
Oh, that in it.
Oh, you thought that was the Aletto?
I did.
No.
It has that whole Blackwork Studio vibe.
Does it?
That spot does.
Okay. Interesting. What do you notice about it?
It's got some green at the bottom.
It does.
Oh, wait. That's a freaking Corona off that's the Corona off a tobacco plant.
Okay. You talking about the flower?
Yes, the flower is called a Corona. The top of the tobacco plant is called.
What's up, Terry? Smooth Kenny says the CEO bones. No, it is not a. What do you call those things?
That's a tobacco flower.
It is.
That's what that is. That's the Corona. But now, what cigar?
So it's not a nailed head. It's not the Yosuke.
No, that's what the image is. Is it a Corona cigar?
It is not a Corona cigar. It is not. You might find one of these at Corona Cigar, but I'm not. Yeah, I can't. I don't think it's a Corona Cigar exclusive, but Corona carries a lot of cigars. So
I don't know.
Oh man, this is really gonna hurt your feelings.
JC Newman American.
Booyah! Your number 1 cigar for like 3 years in a row.
It is, but I didn't stare at the band. I taste the flavor.
Yeah. So look, there you go.
But at least I knew what the image was.
I mean, it's kind of
it's not
pretty easy.
It's not.
I think
it is
so.
not.
I think so.
It looks like a bunch of bones.
Kind of. But yeah, that's the JC Newman American, which they do have at Corona. It's not a Corona cigar, but it's FSG tobacco.
It does have FSG tobacco.
All right, you ready for the next one?
No, but
there's no way. This is one of the ones that I kind of feel bad about the edit, because the edited photo, or the zoomed in photo, was it provided a little bit more information. But I think if you think hard enough, you can get it. It's a lot of a color.
It's a lot of a color.
It is a lot of a color. I mean, it takes up 75% of the crop out. Does it not? This air conditioner I'm freezing over here. Can't believe it. I'm freezing in August. I keep touching the.
And that cigar is in this humidor.
It is. You cannot get up and look around.
No, I'm not.
Chi-Town, the pledge? No.
I've got to quit being lazy and come up with a stupid game to stump me. That's, I don't like this game. The DE makes me think of Made In, but I know that's not it.
Not a Caldwell. Not the Blue Mateed. It's a fun game, though.
No, it's
right?
Not at all. It's too dark to be the Silver Mesa Brulee Blue. I'm trying to think of what cigars we have. And this is an obscure band we have in here, isn't it?
Nope. It's not an obscure company either.
Is it one of our sponsors?
Not technically. It is not an Arsenio.
I don't know.
Okie dokie.
That one. That was a crappy one. Yeah.
You were correct. Made in Esteli, the DE. But I also thought the DE would be nice because, like, the Drew Estate. Now, when I edited this photo originally, you could see a little bit more of the little tri-leaf thing at the bottom. But also on this, there wasn't a lot that I could do that didn't, like... excuse me. I probably could have done a little like in the leaves.
What? Oh, so it's at the very bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, where is that at?
Yep, down the bottom.
All right.
That's a harder one. Gary's answer. Hello, everyone. Finally made it in. Made it. The grandkids were keeping me busy. Welcome back. All right.
Really? You gave me a gold drip.
It's not a drip. It's an image.
Of a drip?
No. Of the essence of that cigar. Think of some of the brands that I haven't shown you yet. Not an H99.
So my mind is racing around trying to draw the rest of the band.
Yep.
And it is not.
It is a small band.
It looks like
it's a small cigar. It's a small band, and it's a brand that we haven't covered yet. But this might be rolled by one of the brands we've covered. Hey, Michael Zakvek. He was supposed to be here in TR today, and he left me abandoned. Fire mark, get him.
Is the not the gold drip, but the rest of it, is that a repeating pattern?
No. Well,
so it's not like a background pattern.
No. So this band is actually a yellowish gold band, and this spot is an excerpt on the band. John Jensen's great minds think alike. I'm also smoking an El Pulpo this evening.
You know what you should have done, other than not playing this game.
Tell me what I should have done, Mister.
You should have done it in a small close-up, and that's worth 100 points. And then back up a little bit, and that's worth 75 points. Okay. And then back up, and it's 50 points.
Okay, maybe next time I'll do that.
Don't do this ever again.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time I'll do that. That's a lot of work. but
Drawing a blank.
okay. This is a more obscure one. Polpetta.
The meatball.
Yeah. So it's the bottom of the fork.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair.
If I'd have done the top of the fork, you'd have got it.
All right, Steven. So how many fingers am I holding up?
Looks like 5 over there.
Yeah. How many fingers am I holding up? Let's do this. How many fingers am I holding up? If you said 1, well, that's my thought. That is a shoot. I almost said a bad word. That's a UF-13.
That is a UF-13. Good job. I actually thought it was going to be a little harder.
Yeah, it's a UF-13. Well, I knew it was Liga.
Yeah,
just by the, I didn't see the background, but I saw the script, and that script just screamed Liga. And then I'm like, wait, is that a Liga? Is he making it too hard?
If you like I can see it better from like over here at your computer. But if you look at it on your screen, you can see the little squares. Right?
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see them faintly.
It just looks like a blush on the, but yeah, you can see it now that I know that they're squares. Right. I can really see them.
That's UF-13. All right. Fireborn says Bob needs to blind pour 11 Mr. Pibb and 1 Dr. Pepper and see if Chief can find the Dr. Pepper. I can do it. Actually, I already am thinking of a blind tasting cigar show for the future.
Yeah, we need to do a hot sauce challenge again. That's what we need to do. Steven loves those.
Look, Mac's cheering for you.
Thanks, Mac.
So you have 3
out of 7.
I think something like that. All right, next one. It's right side up. None of these are tilted in a funny, funky way. This is right side up. This is as you would see it on the band. You're not going to get this one either. But I also wanted to make sure that we had plenty of companies represented.
I don't even think about it. I could click on the stuff and see what the answers are.
You could. Don't.
I won't. That is a very large band.
It is a bigger
band. That band covers almost the whole cigar. It's a J.C. Newman cigar.
Is it?
It is.
What's J.C. Newman cigar?
I can't remember.
Wow, you're kind of like, I'm kind of surprised, like impressed here a little bit.
Yeah, that is, and we got them at the J.C. Newman event. Oh, what is the name of that cigar? At PCA last year.
That cigar starts with an angel.
No, it's Angel Cuesta.
No, it's not. It's Highclere Castle.
Oh, Jesus. Jerk.
Baited ya.
Tell me though, look at that picture. Look at that. Bring the picture up short. Tell me that doesn't look like it would fit the bottom of the Angel Cuesta.
I mean, I would have said that this would have been more like a Caldwell thing, like a King's Dead or something. Like if I had to guess, I would not have gotten
that red. That red got me on the Angel Cuesta because that red is so vibrant.
Mac Bergson's feelings are hurt that I baited you so hard. Just as you were going, I was like, "Ooh, bait him!"
Yeah, I was running down the wrong road, but I was running hard. I knew where I was going.
I was happy to. I'm just glad that you said the PCA and the cigar. I was like, "Ooh, I'll talk about Angel." No,
oh wait, since you led me the wrong way by giving part of the name and it wasn't the real name. That means that I got that point.
I wasn't saying that was the cigar.
No, you said it's got Angel in the name. Hey, that's what you said. It's got Angel in the name.
By the way, I didn't. No. You were asking about the cigar. We were at 31 people. All right. That was funny. That was great. Thank you for that. You're not getting this one either. But this is a cigar that you're very familiar with about 5 years ago. You smoked a lot of them. You liked it a lot.
5 years ago?
Yeah.
That was 2020.
Yep.
It's a sponsor?
No.
Was it a sponsor?
No. I mean, we've probably talked to them about sponsorship, but since then their company's kind of in some weird turmoil loop.
Well, then that only makes it think of the NASA guy, and that's not a NASA cigar.
No.
Oh, it's not the Lunar.
No. And I would say even more turmoil than that. They're still making cigars. This cigar, I'll actually give you another hint. This cigar was also re-released as a lounge exclusive last year.
That's no help.
For the first time, if you'd like to look at the comments.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, the Desert Rose.
It's either that or Rose of Sharon, one of the two. I can't. I think
No, I wouldn't have got that for nothing.
I got them over here.
So you pulled up out of that very top spot.
Yeah,
God,
Desert Rose.
There was no pink in it at all.
Huh? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that pink doesn't look like pink when you blow it up like
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of hard to. It looks more red. Yeah.
And I was thinking because of the way the printing was, it was a budget cigar. Southern Draw Rose of Sharon is not a budget cigar,
Well, some of these.
and they are in turmoil.
Here's the thing. So, one, this is a very close-up shot of the band, right? But a lot of these are the same way. Not that one, but this one, right? You can see the printing blobs
Right.
on the Pulpetta. You can definitely see it on the JC Newman American. You can see it a little bit, in the Natura.
Not much in that one, Harris Lee.
I don't want to go too fast, too far. Got you there. All right. I think there's one, maybe two more. This one, I had never noticed this on the band before. I don't know why I've never noticed it before. But I think it's...
So you said, "Hey, I don't notice this. Let me do this in
But
front
here's
of
the thing,
30-something people."
just because I didn't notice it doesn't mean that you've never noticed it.
That's true. SP, is that important? Or is that EP?
It looks like BP to me. Like British Petroleum. Now, part of this band I knew. I didn't realize that this was a little intricate detail on this part of the band. I will be disappointed if you don't get this. I thought this was honestly going to be one of the easiest ones.
Are these the prominent colors in the band?
Yes. Gary Zanstra says he sees SP. Mac Bergson also says SP. Fireborn says it looks like the ash of a cigar. I don't know about that. I promise it's not. None of these cigars were lit at the time I took photos of them.
Is this the prominent? No, it's not, because you said it was so small you didn't see it.
Well, so part of this was so small that I didn't see it, but this is a prominent feature of the cigar band. It's a small part, but it's very prominent.
Well, it wouldn't be Johnny Tobacco Knot, because that doesn't make sense.
Not Johnny Tobacco Nut. That is true. While you're thinking, I do want to give a big shout out to Ron, Rick, and Jay Bates for hitting the love button over on Facebook. Gary, Cigars and Dads, Chad Stainbridge, Sammy Flo, Keith, and Charles Adamson for hitting the like button over on Facebook. Everybody who's done it over on the YouTubes. I just don't see it. So thank you all for liking. And for the two people who are on Facebook watching, if you want to send this over to your favorite cigar groups, let them know. Our internet's working a little better now. I don't have the 3 lines anymore.
I got to let you down.
Dang.
From the hat.
It's an EP, El Pulpo.
That does not scream hat.
What?
No.
That's a top hat.
That looks like the top of a inkwell.
Oh, come on.
It does.
Come on. I thought you had honestly figured out when you said EP.
No, it's really easy for you to have seen the big picture and see the small picture and say, oh, that makes sense.
Well, it's funny because I thought it was SP until I flipped to this slide and said, oh, crap, that's an EP.
I love that cigar, too.
It is. Mac Bergson says it's not prominent colors. It is. That cigar is more black and gold than it is red.
Agreed.
And there's only 3 colors on the cigar band: black, red, and gold.
That's agreed.
Oh, almost went too far. So yeah. But, every time that you've ever done an interview with the El Pulpo guys, Gus and Billy, you say, I'll come over to the octopus in the top hat.
Yeah. No, you're right.
All right.
How many more of these do I have to suffer
I
through?
think it's just one more. I think this is the last one.
That is a Blue-Eyed Jack's Revenge.
Hey! I knew you'd get that.
Yeah.
Because you were the first person who ever mentioned that the anchor was in the band that I did not notice.
Right.
Actually, when you take a picture of this cigar, that does not show up very well at all.
Really?
You have to edit. You have to drop down the highlights in order for that to pop out.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, that's the anchor. And that is the last one.
Good.
Nice. So you got 4?
Out of 5?
No, out of 11. So yeah, that you got the Blue-Eyed Jack's Revenge, UF13, then the Herrera, and obviously the Sobremesa Brulee. I did smoke one of these cigars to kind of try to give a hint.
No, I didn't. I wasn't. I was just trying to figure it out. So,
but yeah, that was fun. Great job.
Yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Gary's interested. He smashed the like button over on the tube. Chief always seeing the small picture. We need BTCG to see the big picture.
I love that, Mac Bergson.
Chief is the anchor of entertainment. As I'm holding it down, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm
thinking. The cornerstone.
The anchor man.
Stogie says, we all know that one. I don't know which one that one is. She's referring to
the Aventura.
The Aventura one or not. But no, I thought that was a lot of fun. I thought about, the viewers kind of put that one in my head, and you had talked about it as well about, hey, what if we, what about doing like obscure band shots, and why not utilize the macro ability on these lenses?
Why not
to do it? So I'll probably do it again.
You haven't used that lens in a while, have you?
It was the big lens, and this one right here.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one that's real short.
Not the 50 millimeter. No, that one's at the house right now. I haven't put it back in my carry case since Barnsmoker. More like holding this back.
Mac, be nice.
Sammy Flo says Bob should phone a friend. He looked at his cigars over there. But here's the thing: there was only one time where anybody guessed anything correct in the comments during the cigar, and that was Fireborn with the Desert Rose. That was the only comment that got one of the
answers right.
One of the answers right. He just said Southern Draw. He didn't even say Desert Rose. He just said Southern Draw.
Well, look, I'm a cigar reviewer of the people. And if the people love it, I am willing to carry the burden on my shoulders. And
also you can kind of put it off to say I'm a cigar reviewer, not a band reviewer. So
yeah.
Mac Berkeley says 10% off any one item at Harbor Freight this weekend, 20% off if you are in the cut.
It's kind of interesting though, all the details some manufacturers put into their cigars. It's almost like you have a little hidden Easter egg sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Some of the bands, and some of the bands are just phenomenal. You see the ones, usually it's the old school, the Spanish looking ones that have all the little coins on them, like they've won different awards. I don't know if they ever won any awards from them, but the one that has the parrot on it. What is that cigar?
Yeah.
That's a gorgeous band.
San Cristobal.
Fantastic band. Gorgeous band. So
let's see. Hold on. All right. So let me see if I can do this. What other bands would you be like? What other bands have you seen? And this is for everybody who else is watching. Like, are you just kind of taken aback by just how nice their artwork is, or whatnot? Like, because bands are a part of cigar smoking.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you see a wall full, if you're told a wall of cigar, there's two walls of cigars you walk into a humidor, wall on the east side, wall on the west side, and they're both the same exact cigars in the same exact spots on the wall.
Right.
They're all the same price. There's nothing different about the price at all. Which cigar would you buy?
I'd buy the
And
Banded cigars.
9 times out of 10, I'm sure you're going to buy the Banded cigars. The 1 time out of 10 is probably a cigar that just doesn't have a very pretty band on it.
Because all cigars look pretty much the same. I mean, you got different vitolas, different sizes, different shapes.
Oh no, yeah, tobacco's
and different
tobacco.
shades, but I mean, they're all just brown sticks.
Yeah, tobacco's tobacco. So what do you, to your knowledge, Bob the Cigar Guy, like what other like cigar brands would you like? You know, what other cigar brands do you really like seeing their artwork on bands for? Sure.
I enjoy the My Father's company that was out a good while ago. What are they called? I can't believe it escapes me. In Bombay. In Bombay had a lot of imagery in them. They had a
Sean, we played a fun game where we were doing a close-up song. I can show you again.
it had a peacock in it. It had a I think a deer or something on it, real small. It was like it was Indian tapestries. And they talked about their stories, and peacock is supposed to be a symbol of life. And then the other one was a symbol of happiness, and the other was a symbol of something else. I really like that kind of thing. But then again, I could dive in quick into the Room 101 vibe. I like that basic lotus flower looking kind of thing with the holes in it or the drops on it.
Yeah, Fireborn, the New World bands are really cool. I love the El Dorado band. I like that one a lot. Mac Bergson says, I think the Crown's pouch is amazing. Also, the new Rogue packaging looks great. Dan Burns likes to hold on to his bands.
I don't know anything about Crown pouch. I used to hang on to my bands, but we had
so many.
Matt
Berger says he loves the bands of the Aventura King's Gold. Alex Moldovan likes the artwork on cigar bands.
Absolutely.
My father is one of them. Dan Burns also says my father.
The Opus line is gorgeous.
Matt Scave says In Bombay had beautiful bands.
Opus line is gorgeous.
Alex Moldovan says AJ Fernandez. Samuel Flo says E.B. Carrillo has details repping their farm. Yeah, there's bands that, and I don't even need, I don't need like the super ornate decorative bands either.
Right.
Like
depends on your vibe.
Like Placencia does a really good job with their bands, and it's just Camacho.
Camacho does great bands.
Colors on black,
bold,
right? And then sometimes I think you can get a little too lost in the bands. I think one of the things that I've always kind of thought when it comes to cigar bands, or maybe not always, but in the past few years, is when I see a super decorative ornate band, I start to wonder, are they hiding something?
Right. Did they put all their money in the band and not the blend?
Or did they put a bunch of money into the band because the blend just didn't come out to be what they wanted it to be? Now, I'm not saying that this cigar is guilty of that. I don't have one over here right now. And I've got one over here somewhere. I just don't know where it's at.
Well, look at the Padron band. It's not much, right?
Right. Pretty simple. Fuente's the same way.
Well, the Opus isn't.
Right. Well, yeah. And like the H99 or Liga bands, they're pretty. It's just basically handwriting on, a Cohiba color, not a colorway, but a template
shape,
right? With the squares and all that kind of stuff, which I fell in love with. It was one of the most favorite things I ever fell in love with cigars early in a cigar. Now, speaking of decorative ornate bands, that I think. I haven't had the cigar, so I wouldn't imagine that this company is trying to hide something with their blend with this cigar. But this is the the new Diamond Crown Tampa.
You know what's hilarious? I had these right here, and I was going to pull them up. Same exact cigar.
Yeah, the Diamond Crown Tampa. Now it's your normal traditional Diamond Crown up here on the top, but it's got this cool little, like, that's El Reloj, the rooster for the chickens that walk around Cigar City, USA. Yeah. And then all sorts of, like, there's ships in the harbor,
which is for the
skyline of Tampa.
The ships in the harbor is for their
trolley cars, palm trees.
There's a college thing on there as well.
So it's like there's a lot that goes into that band, but that's part of, like, telling the story of the cigar too, especially for that one. Is you're not only just, like, that's 132 years of Tampa or something like that. They're celebrating alongside with them, and so it's really cool, that you get something like that on that cigar. But that's a one-off, right? That's a special kind of sort of thing. You get into some cigar brands and companies out there that put a whole lot of stuff into cigar bands, and to me, it's like, all right, what are we hiding here?
You're gilding the lily.
Are you
right?
Yeah. Are you putting lipstick on the pig, here?
Right.
This kind of sort of situation.
But then some people smoke cigar. I believe there are a group of cigar people, I'm not going to call them cigar smokers. They're a group of people who smoke cigars that want to be seen smoking cigars. So they want all of the bells and whistles on their band so they can walk around and show it.
Right.
And they can say, "Ooh, look, I have this fancy cigar."
I think it's the same exact thing about certain people who buy super ginormous cigars to walk around with and smoke, right? You find people who buy the flathead 770s. It's like, that's not a great cigar, in my opinion.
660 is.
It's not a bad cigar, but for me, the people that I ever see smoking those cigars are people who like to just have a huge cigar hanging out of their mouth. It's like, yeah, I'm a boss, right? Because there's a lot to be. There's a
market for that.
I don't remember what. I can't. It's the guy who plays Doc Ock. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, it's a Western movie. It's got Mel Gibson, the guy who plays Doc Ock, and this other guy, and they're playing poker around a table. And the older white guy is like a notorious winner. They're all notorious winners. But the guy who plays Doc Ock, who's kind of like a Mexican fellow in the gambling circle, he's been cheating, and Mel Gibson figures it out. And
Maverick.
But it's funny, the older white guy who has 4 8s, what he calls two small pair, he pulls out this huge cigar as he puts all of his chips in. And it's funny how it works as a physical gag of, like, him being upset that the Mexican fellow, the guy who plays Doc Ock, has a straight or whatever it is, because he's got this cigar just kind of resting in his lips, but it's straight up in the air. And then when the guy lays his card down here, it's funny. I noticed it. But you have people who smoke cigars.
I did not know that was Doc Ock.
That's the guy who plays Doc Ock. Yeah.
All right. I see it now, but I never would have put them together.
And so it's like you have the people who smoke big cigars just because they're big cigars. Remember Joe Bonamo, right? I'm not sure if he actually smoked cigars to smoke cigars or just smoked cigars to have a statement piece, right?
He would smoke. They were 1.25 inches across, and they were
big old
9-10 inches long.
Big old cigars. And so, some people are, we have the H99 Papas Fritas at the shop, and I've suggested them. They're like, I don't want to smoke no weenie cigar. It's like, dog, you need to smoke this because it gives you a taste. And we can't at the current moment in time, we can't sell the other H99s because we haven't made that threshold yet. But we can sell the H99 Papas Fritas. And it's like, when we make the threshold to bringing them in, we're going to bring in the H99s, and I want you to have a little bit of a taste of what the H99 really is, so that you buy up all these Papas Fritas and say, hey, this is a great $8 stick. It's a little smaller, but it's a fantastic smoke.
Right.
And so I think you hit the nail on the head with people buying cigars just because of the artwork. That's one of the reasons why I love the San Cristobal as much as I did when I first got into cigars, is because I love the big parrots.
It was a great cigar, but
I haven't touched the San Cristobal in half a decade. But
Yeah, me too.
that's one of the first. That's probably the first cigar where the band work was like, oh heck yeah, I like this. That's really cool.
Well, CAO used to have the America.
Yeah,
and that
they
band
probably still do.
Was so patriotic. It was so iconic.
Yeah, very, very patriotic forward. Which all of their, because they had one for Brazil, they had one for Argentina, or maybe it was Italy, and then I think they had 4 of them, and they were all very flag forward,
absolutely
bands. But I also like I think there is something to be said about some of the bands that are more simplistic too. Like Liga bands are pretty simplistic. Now there's a little ornateness there to it, right? Carrying the same font across cigars.
Cro-Magnon is cool, except when you try to pull the band.
Well, anything from Roma sucks in the band pool.
But their bands are cool because if you don't know, you just think it's a white and orange band or a white and
right.
Light
It's a double layer
band.
band, and the band underneath has some actual embossing on it. Right. It's really neat.
When you turn it sideways and look at it just right in the light, you can see it.
Well, I also appreciate that with some other. I think we talked about this last week. Some cigar bands that I like, when you put a cigar band on a cigar, right? It's advertisement.
Absolutely.
Right. Most cigar companies only get 50% advertisement out of their cigar bands. What do I mean by that? Do you know what I mean by that, Bob the Cigar Guy?
No, what do you mean by that, Chief?
So most cigar bands, and this El Pulpo, let me check. Yep, is guilty of it. Nice band here on the front, right? Love it. It's great. Flip the cigar over. Just white paper. They're only utilizing 50% of the surface space on this band. They're utilizing the front. They're not utilizing the back. Now, there's some embossing. You can see the embossing there, whatnot, but there's nothing back there that's like, ooh, that'd be kind of cool to include in the photo. Think about the Drew Estate Uncrowned 10.
Right.
It has a whole entire, it's like 2 bands on it and the ribbon, but one of the bands has the full story of the Uncrowned 10's history and the Uncrowned story on the back of it.
And AJ Fernandez does a signature on the back of theirs.
The Cinco de Cinco from Hoyta, Nicaragua, I think, is the same way. You flip the band over and it tells a little bit of the story of the band and what comes behind, the idea of the Cinco de Cinco being, we took a lot of information from the personal sessions that were blended here in Nicaragua on safaris, and we decided, hey, this would we like these tobaccos. These tobaccos were liked by a lot of people, so let's put it into a cigar and see what we can come up with.
Now, Fireborn said something that jogged my memory. He said we need fortune cookie sayings on the back sides of cigar bands. The
Punch does that.
The Punch, the chop suey or whatever it is.
Chop suey, the egg roll. Yeah. Those ones do. I'm not sure if all of them do, but yes, Punch has that. And then some companies have little signatures on the back or whatever. One of the things I like about Padron, we were talking about Padron being a little simple, is actually when you look at a Padron band up close, there's got all the numbers and stuff that are kind of just thrown in there alongside of the band underneath the artwork. It's kind of cool. I don't know if it really pertains to anything other than just being a graphic design.
You're talking about the green, the bigger bands, right?
Not the small
bands.
tiny ones.
All right, those are actual serial numbers or VIN numbers of those cigars. You could actually go back and figure out what your batch was if you had the ability to get into their information. It's almost like a warranty number, so they could know what cigar it was, and they have it all the way down to who the roller is.
Right. So, and then you actually just lit up a Deadwood over there.
I did.
I think Deadwood kind of goes a little over above and beyond.
Telling the big story.
I think it's just super busy. I mean, you not only have the skull candy lady on the front, but as you rotate the band, like it's got the spider webs, it's got the tombstones, it's got all that kind of sort of stuff on there. It's a lot. I'm also not a big fan of super duper bright colors that don't go well with tobacco color brown, whether that be a shade or a triple Maduro, right? I'm not a big fan of like the orange on that cigar. I'm not a fan of it.
No,
I'm not. But it's just because of the colorway of the band. Now, like for Halloween and a pumpkin, yeah, but that's one time out of the year.
Right.
I'm a big fan of, darker reds, whites, blacks.
So the color should make sense.
I think that's how I kind of sort of feel. Now, I'm not going to get hung up on it. Again, a cigar band will never, unless it's something that's like super provocative or inappropriate or whatnot, a cigar band is never going to turn me off from a cigar completely from trying it. A price point may. A bad cigar will, but a cigar band, if it's a great cigar and I just don't like the band, I'll take the band off. I mean, I don't utilize the band for what bands are, they say that bands are put on cigars to help protect the fingers from turning different colors or whatever.
Right.
Whether or not that's the truth, I don't know if we'll ever, I think everybody pretty much believes it.
Right.
But like, I don't use bands on cigars to keep my fingers protected unless I'm at the very end of a cigar. And usually by that point in time, I've already taken the band off the cigar as it is because I didn't want to burn my band.
Right.
And it's not because I want to keep the band because I don't keep bands anymore. I really didn't keep bands for very long at all. But it has to do with the fact that I just don't want burning cigar band in my face or inhale, taking it in, as I smoke a cigar. So more times than not, like, I will say, I hate that the Papas Fritas are all foot bands that don't slide up the cigar super easy. Because when you take the Papas Fritas, if you don't have the band, you just look like you're smoking a little Philly blunt, right? A hand rolled, a cheroot, or whatever you guys call them.
A seconds.
I do hate that a little bit because
I don't like bands that don't tell me the name of the cigar. If they just got a logo on them or something like that,
right,
or something, and that's mainly because I review cigars,
right.
And I used to get people used to send me cigars from their personal humidors, and I'd have to try to research what that cigar was, and it is so hard to try to find those pictures, not know what manufacturer it's from.
Well, and here's the thing too with that is, so one of the things that I've kind of run into, I haven't run into it personally, but I've been told to look out for it. Padron has a line that's a more budget-friendly line, and I think it's a natural and a Maduro, and it's the same exact band. The band is the same exact for each one of them. It's just the shade of the wrapper that's different. And if cigars come in and they don't have SKUs on them already from the company, we print out SKUs so that we can scan them easily. But sometimes the person will come out of the humidor, and they will have taken off the cellophane that has the SKU on it, and will come up and say, "Hey, I cut this and lit this. Can you just check me out?" It's like, oh man, now I got to go figure out what cigar this is.
Right.
I'm not a fan of that either. I'm not a fan of a company having a band in 4 different colors for 4 different versions of the cigar. Not a fan of that because and it's not even a business side. It's just a personal side. It's like, if I take a picture of this, or if I smoke this, I want to remember what the cigar was. And I looked at it and it's just an orange band, Tarano. It's like, oh crap, how am I supposed to know this is a Connecticut without the box or without the cellophane? So I already don't keep the wrappers, but I'm definitely not keeping the cellophanes. So that, if I ever had to give my 2 cents to a cigar company, hey, what should I do about this? Like, hey, make sure you got your name on the, we can tell what it is.
Right.
Now, Herrera Esteli is kind of that way. Herrera Esteli bands are all the same. They're just different color. Now, luckily for me, I've smoked enough of them to know which one's which. But I always found that confusing with the red Miami and the black Miami, because both of them are Herrera Esteli, and then a second band that says Miami on it. And it's like, well, crap. Which one are you smoking? I don't remember which one it was. It didn't say. But with the Herrera Esteli, you've got the white, which is Habano. You've got the blue, which is Brazilian Matacina. And then now you don't have black and red anymore. But Norteño is part of the Herrera line, but it's a completely different band.
Absolutely.
Right? It says Herrera Esteli on it, but it's got the bird, or had, because it's not a brand anymore either. Sad. Fireborn says the journey of 1,000 miles is exhausting, so enjoy a cigar. Matt Scave says Amazon Basin has a pretty cool band.
Agreed.
That's that's
a good cigar though.
I don't know.
I mean, I love that cigar with the Braganca, and I love smoking through the band. I do. I did not like the Anaconda that had the tail that would touch you in your mouth. I hated that. That bothered the fart out of me.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of I will say I am least triggered by the CAO, Amazon Basin. The one like tobacco artwork bothers me. Like you think of there's a company, RR or something like that, and they literally would cut out designs of other tobacco leaves and then paste them to the wrapper leaf on the
Miami,
cigar.
something Miami.
And I was not a fan of that. They had one company that would cut 2 or 3 different wrapper leaves in a weird way, and it would almost make the cigar look camo. I was not a fan of that either. LFD does it with the football. Not a fan of it. To me, it just looks cheap and hokey. I know there's a lot of skill to go into it, and I'm sure it makes the cigar more expensive. But to me, overdoing something too much can come off as trashy to me.
It's kind of interesting.
You can have $100,000 truck and you can jack it up and it can look great. But you have $100,000 truck, you jack it up, you put the lights in the wheel wells, you put big Instagram handle reflective stickers on the back of the car, you put the Carolina squat on the back of it, and then you put, a 12-foot tall antenna and, super cab lights and stuff. It's like, that just looks trash to me. But it's, probably $300,000 they put into that vehicle to make. It's like, yeah, you got $300,000 vehicle, but it looks like crap. I'd rather have it stock. Yeah, Leaf by Oscar, the bands are what they say is supposed to be like the paper pulp from tobacco. Plus it's wrapped in a big leaf. I don't hate the tobacco like wrap for the Leaf by Oscar. I think it's humidor space waste. But it's a cool concept. They're the only ones who really do it, or at least do it well.
It was never meant to be that. I mean, Leaf and Bean did it first, and then it ended up being so popular, everybody wanted it because it was so unique. Now, what finds me, I find it funny that people will cut the cigar and light it and never take it out of that piece.
Crap.
And they wonder why it's burning wrong. I haven't seen that for years, but for a while it did come out where people were trying to smoke it with that ugly leaf on the outside of it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Georgia State had a cigar that had. Was it the Kentucky Fire Cure that had a tobacco juice band? Georgia State had one.
So
I want to say it was a KFC.
I think you may be right. I think the KFC band, from what I remember hearing, but I don't think I ever heard that from like a Drew Estate source, was that the KFC band was like pulp from tobacco leaves or tobacco stalks or whatever. However they do it, I don't know. I think I remember hearing that. I don't know if it's hearsay or if it's true. But I've also been told that if you smoke through the band, it's like barbecue sauce, like a sweet cherry barbecue sauce. I'm not doing that. There's no telling what kind of glue they used. Is it pectin or is it glue? Right. Whatever Rumacraft uses is not glue or not pectin. It's super glue.
Yeah, it's super glue.
That's Gorilla Glue over there. But I think that I love the way Roma does the double bands. It sucks that you can't ever get them intact. But like Aventura with the metal bands, I think that is really amazing, cool, really neat. Now, not all their bands are metal bands. Semi-Flow, calm down. But I think that the ones that they do have that are metal bands, I think those are really cool. Those are something that I think are kind of worth saving, like collecting like rings. You think of like we were having this discussion at the house the other day. We watch at dinner time. We'll watch the Duck Dynasty channel. Mm-hmm. We don't watch a lot of TV, and like we'll watch movies and stuff on Disney Plus. But we watched the Duck Dynasty channel from time to time at dinner time, and there was an episode where Phil was wearing his duck calls around his neck. He had a bunch of duck calls on the thing, but it also had a bunch of duck bands. The tags they put on ducks for like rewards and stuff. If you shoot a duck that's banded, you get a $10,000 boat or something like that. It's super rare, but it's kind of cool. It's like you could also almost kind of sort of do that with the Aventura bands. You could turn them into easily turn them into some kind of jewelry or statement piece or whatever, because of the metal metallic bands that are so much different than just the paper bands. But yeah, I'm a big fan of companies who treat the artwork and the care and the consideration for their bandage as much as they treat the care and consideration for what goes into the tobacco. Martino says Macanudo Vintage 1997 has a very nice metal band. Matt's Case says, I love that the Michelita bands look simplistic, but when you look closely, they're quite elaborate.
Yes.
I think it's one of the things Steve Saka really takes a lot of pleasure in with his banding and box art and whatnot. And that's another thing that you can get into is box art. Because when it comes to box art, I'm actually more of a fan of simple than I am ornate. I'm not a big fan of like Black Label's boxes. They're just too much going on for me. But like Dumbarton or Drew Estate, like even Drew Estate with acid boxes, or cigars that are more off the walls, a brand that you could see pouring a lot of time into making super weird and funky boxes, like doesn't. And I like that, because for me, homogeny within inside of the humidor is huge. You want to be able to put all of your boxes in your humidor, if you have the ability to do that, in a way that looks appealing or pleasing to the eye, in a sense of like these boxes look like they go together. And that's one of the things I love about Drew Estate, Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust,
Right.
Foundation. And it's most companies.
But I love the piano finished boxes, either piano black, piano white, piano red. We've got the Cinco de Cinco, which is green, I think.
The Numero Uno is a big blue box.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
I
are,
love that shine.
but for me, those are boxes that I wouldn't want to put in a humidor. Those are boxes I want to put on my desk.
Fair
Right.
enough.
Usually 9 times out of 10, like some of those boxes have magnets in them to keep the lid closed. They're finished in a way where, like, if you're not handling them with care, they pick up a scratch real quick, or even just a little scuff. Those are like statement boxes to me. Those are statement piece boxes, in my opinion. Whereas, like Drew Estate does a really good job, I think, with just having simple boxes, not changing the color up, a lot. You had, who was it? Room 101 got into a little hot water a couple of years ago where everybody thought their boxes, all the boxes smelled like paint. And people were like, you know what? I did think I smelled a little bit of paint.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was an unsavory notice by people who had bought, and I don't think it was all of them. I think it was just one brand, one box that had come out, and there was a worry of like, oh, and that's another thing too, is like if you do that with boxes, like you've got to worry about the time it takes to dry. Like you're a cigar company, you're not a box company. Now some cigar companies have box makers in there, like Drew Estate, they make their boxes and whatnot, but again, there's not a whole lot of printing on them. You're just gluing bands or gluing artwork, stickers, and then sealing them shut. I am a fan of the hardware that boxes use. I think that hardware goes a long way with, how many times can I open and close this thing without popping the latch off? There was it's gone for the most part, but there was a season, even since I've been a cigar smoker in the last 13 years or whatever I've been smoking cigars. Yeah. Well, no, 12 years. Yeah, 12 years. There used to be this thing where, and some companies still do it, because I just opened up a box of these the other day. I don't remember the company, but it's like a pressed paper for the. Oh no, it was there was a no, it wasn't. I was gonna say it was Fuente. It wasn't Fuente. It looked like it at first, but it wasn't. But they had, the boxes are like a thick cardboard that are just wrapped in a sleeve of paper that's kind of nice and sheeny or whatnot. But the boxes, like, we literally just rip the lid off of it to put it up in the thing, because it won't hold itself, and it just gets in the way. And so for me, I am not a fan of that. Chi-Town says that the year the Duque box smelled like paint. Ours didn't. Fireborn says the Decenio box is beautiful. I like the Decenio. I really like that cigar.
Remember the Soul? Who was that? CEO Soul? The SOL.
Yeah. The Fossa and the Soul.
The Fossa and the Soul.
Yeah.
That guy was bragging on his boxes. He said you could take this part off, put it at the foot and stand it up a little bit, or you could take the top and tuck it behind it.
That was more from a manufacturing side, or not a manufacturing, a lounge side. In the sense of like how you wanted to put it on your shelf talkers. And you could put it this way, or you could put it this way, or you could
They
put it
put a
this
lot of
way.
work into
There
those.
was a lot of engineering that went into how they wanted to present their box. And there was and he said that in the video about like that was something that he kind of prided himself on.
Yeah, he was proud of it.
Truck nuts.
I'm talking about the big truck. You know, the set of bullet
Oh,
balls.
yeah. No, I haven't seen any of those in a while.
Been a long time.
I did see somebody who 3D printed wire nuts and hung them from the back of his truck.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Yeah, Aventura has the talking boxes, which for me,
I wish they talked better. They sound very.
If you're
garbled.
an Aventura, if you're avid on Aventura, if you're big on Aventura, I think that's cool. But for the regular consumer, like for me, like speaking of that, like I opened up the Blue Eyed Jack's Revenge to take a picture of the cigar today, and it freaked me out because you can't understand what it's saying,
Right, you can't.
And it takes you by surprise when you forget that it's there. So I'm not a big fan of it. I think they in my opinion, be like, oh, let's put that money into something else. Let's put another cigar in the box.
Well, I think they did that in Barbaroja's Invasion and Blue Eyed Jack's Revenge only. I think
La Llorona has it too.
Does it really?
I think 3 boxes have it, and that it says they can talk to each other. I think it's just one will respond. Like each dialogue kind of works together off of it. I don't think like there's an actual chip in there that they can hear each other.
No, but I think they're timed.
Speak back and forth. Oh, my son, my youngest son loves Thomas the Train, and Thomas the Train has a thing now. They've had it for a little while, but they have, trains that you actually, instead of like, you used to have a little lever you could flip and it would cut the motor on and it would run. Now there's a button. They make ones that have buttons on the back of them, and they'll talk when you press the button. It's like going off to Sodor City or whatever. Well, if you have multiple of them, they listen for each other and they will respond back and forth to each other. They only have like 5 or 6 dialogues that they can say, but they have like 5 or 6 dialogues they can say to all of them. So you can get a full conversation going between them. And it's really cool because it transports you into the island of Sodor. Like we have the Whichway Bridge, which is a cool bridge that you can flip up and the trains can fall off of it or whatever. But it does the voice of one of the boats, Bulstrode. You guys didn't realize you're going to come here for Thomas the Train lore this evening.
I'm sitting here.
But it comes with a Percy engine, which is Thomas's best friend, and it talks back and forth to Bulstrode. It'll say, "All right, I got to take the mail," and he says, "All right, be safe." It's funny, and because Thomas the Train is now like geared for kids by kids. All the Thomas Trains are kid voices.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool. Well, now they have like 8 or 9 different engines that all have that same button, and you can have them all running on the same track or in the same area, and Percy will talk to one, and then the one will talk back, and then another one will chime in. It's actually kind of fun having these things. It's kind of creepy in the middle of the night. It's like,
So
okay,
for kids who don't have friends, is that what you're saying?
I think it just transports them into like their Sir Topham had a little bit. It's kind of cool. All right. Matt Brooks says hard to understand. Fireborn says, but how much less expensive could cigars be if they didn't have boxes? Plus, the schedule of distribution gets easier when the entire box is excluded. Just saying. So the thing about that, like, because we talk about that. We've talked about that here. It's like when companies send us stuff, especially if they're a company who's been with us for years. It's like, man, you don't have to send us box. Just send us the matzos, right? Just send us the plastic wrapped or paper wrapped stuff so that we can just refill what we got here. Cigar lounges are the same way. Like when we run out of a brand of cigars in the shop or in the humidor, we don't just pick up that box and pitch it. That box has prices all over it. And so we just take the new boxes, open them up, put the cigars in. How much easier could it be if you
have a refill?
If you just had refills and just, stock them in
Some
like that.
Some companies do provide refills.
Some companies do.
But Steve Saka will say if you try to sell a cigar in a soft pack, you'll cut 20-30% off of perceived value. People will not spend good money on bundle cigars.
So that was kind of one of the points I was making, was for the regular consumer who are trying to, if they take this box home, right? They don't know if you've got a whole humidor. They don't know what your setup looks like or if you've got a cooler or whatnot. You want to be able to protect your cigars, especially while they're in transport. So the boxes make sense in that sense. But there's one company that I know of for sure. It's Padron. Boxes are getting fewer and fewer, more seldom out there because the material it takes to make the boxes and factories not wanting to make boxes. So what Padron does is if you send back the empty boxes, they give you $1 per box back to your account. So if you're an account that's selling, 100 boxes a month of Padron and you don't want to have to trash the boxes or you take up space in your humidor, you ship them back to them and they give you $1 back per box.
They pay for the shipping?
I don't know. Maybe. I didn't get that far into it. I just know that's what we do. So, Charles Simonson says there's a big black bumblebee that keeps flying up to Chief and BTCG on my big screen. Booze. They see the leaves. They're wanting to get some of that tobacco goodness. Flo says, thank God Chief got a job. Was spending too much money with the toys. Now I get to buy more. Fireborn says the Total Wine near me stacks the empty boxes along the wall and sells them for a few bucks. Some companies do that. We don't. I actually was talking to the owners of the lounge, and one of the reasons we don't do that is, or they don't. I can say we now. One of the reasons we don't do that is because it's kind of an eyesore, especially if you have a whole bunch of boxes that don't stack well. And then two, not a lot of people buy those boxes. Like they just you buy enough boxes and then you have enough boxes and you never need them again. So he says I would prefer cheaper cigars, even if I do appreciate the pretty cigar box. I wonder what the cost, like what percent you would save. I can't imagine it's that much because I feel like that the price to make boxes is already rolled up in the production value as it is. I can't imagine. Probably. I can't imagine you would save $10 a box. I couldn't imagine it being that drastic. Yeah, it might be cheaper to do the paper, but then again, if you're shipping everything in paper, when cigars arrive to the distributor, they're damaged. Like, hey, you sent me 1,000 cigars and 500 of them are damaged. You need to send me 500 back. It's like, well, crap. So it's probably just a negligible amount. All right, we are here at 9:47 p.m. on a Thursday night. This has been a fantastic show. This is a lot of fun. I'm glad that the show really kind of stuck around the revolution of the bands. Bob the Cigar Guy, as we close out, have you got anything you'd like to part with these wonderful people?
Pay attention to your bands. Check them out. Pick up your cigar and take a good look at it. Do like me because my glasses don't focus in that well. Take a picture with your phone and then blow up your phone. I bet you'll be interested in some of the intricacies. I mean, we're here to smoke cigars. We're not here to look at bands, but they're there. Why not enjoy a little bit? Maybe you'll find something that just really jumps out to you. Maybe you'll find a little hidden EP on the top hat of an octopus, and you can say next time you're sitting around a lot of smoking, say, on this band there's a such and such and so and so, and they will think you are a true aficionado. And even if you don't do that, do yourself right, do good, enjoy your life, let people love you and love people back appropriately, Fireborn. But have a great week. It's going to get busy. Chief's right. The season's coming, and it's going to be coming faster and faster. As soon as the holidays crank up, so stock up on cigars and stock up on your personal time. And I'll see you next week.
You made a really good point there, Bob the Cigar Guy, talking about checking out bands and letting people know what you see in the bands. Case in point was the Pulpetta it was on Friday last week. And guy was smoking a Pulpetta. They had come in. I work till 5 on Fridays, and they'd come in and they'd smoke for a while. And they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go grab something to eat. We're gonna be back. We're gonna close out our tabs, but we'll be back." And they came back, and they went into the humidor. Both of them brought back Pulpettas, and I was talking about, it's a nice little spicy meatball. And I'm not a big fan of the Pulpetta just because of the spice factor that is on the cigar. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of spice. And he was like, you know what? This kind of is a spicy little meatball. And kind of find out this guy, he's like a culinary guy. Like he works in food. And I was like, well, even better yet, on the band is a fork with a meatball on it. And he was like, No way. I was like, yeah, turn it over, look at the red part. There's a little gold fork with a meatball on it. He was like, by golly, there is. And it was funny. Bob the Cigar was talking about take a picture of it and blow it up on your phone. That's exactly what he did. He took a picture of it and blew it up on his phone. He's like, man, my brother who lives, I think it was Cincinnati or I don't know, something with a C. My brother, he got me onto these. He smokes them all the time. And so I got to talk a little bit about the cigar, and I told him, how it used to be an event exclusive, and it was so popular, and he ended up turning it into a full production cigar. And so it was nice to kind of talk about the history. He was like, man, I'm gonna send this picture to my brother and tell him all about it and make him feel like an idiot. So yeah, I echo what Bob the Cigar Guy says in the sense of like, look at what you're smoking. Take a notice that the leaves have a little bit of bumps on them. Well, what could that be? Let me research. What are these bumps? Oh, that's a little, that's tooth. That's a little pop, a little extra oil on the cigar. It's only found in 2 different kind of varieties of tobacco. It's used in wrapper leaves. And so yeah, take time, smoke your cigars. Have a good time smoking cigars. Obviously, don't get too wrapped up in it where you end up not enjoying the cigars to the fullest extent. And as we go, I do want to make sure we say one more thank you to Drew Estate and Natura Cigar for making sure that Chief Talk can happen every single week here on Thursday nights. We love you all. Thank you all for hanging out with us. And we will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye, baby.
Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
Time to relax. Whew. Man, I'm beat. Whew. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Show's over. Go home. Go home. Show's over. What are you waiting for? You waiting for another show? This is a 1-ticket entry. Go. Bye. Go.